So, by a show of hands, how many people have social media? Okay, so you may or may not know that there are unrestricted content on social media, and this being said, there is a lot of kids who are exposed to that content, and there's just nothing done to that content. It just stays there and for more people to see. I tell you this because of these statistics. So 65% of children under 13 have been cyberbullied, 46% of teens have been cyberbullied, and so has 41% of adults. Not only have they been cyberbullied, but they've also been exposed to inappropriate content. 10% of children and 54% of teens have been exposed. With these rates going up day to day, you or you may notice someone else become a victim of any of these. Now, I've read many articles on how social media affects the mind, how the algorithm works, the policies, and the moderation that are incorporated into these social media platforms. My name is Mackenzie, and today I will be talking about the lack of restrictions social media platforms have, which allows consequences of cyberbullying and inappropriate content. Now, you may be wondering, why did I tell you the statistics? Well, there is one problem because of this, and that problem would be unrestricted content and the fact that it is really easy to trick. It's really easy to trick because kids under the age of 13 can access these content and get into these social media platforms by saying their age, for example, is 15 or 16, just to meet the age limit. I read a research article on kids who have been exposed to cyberbullying and inappropriate content, and it says, I probably said I was 13 years old because that was the limit, when in reality I was 11. I think I made my birthday January 1st, 2000, said Elisa Gold. And this just goes to show that kids can be exposed to anything because there are few restrictions. And if there are, it's easy to be tricked or beat. Now, some people may say, well, wouldn't it be the kid's fault for tricking the age limit or lying? Well, as I said before about the statistics, there are also teens and adults who get cyberbullied and are exposed to inappropriate content. So not only is it happening to children, but also teens and adults. Now, because of this problem, there is a cause, and that cause would be that social media companies are not aware of the content they have online. And some of these factors would be expensive moderation, the algorithm, and the growing amount of users. First, let's talk about moderation. Moderation is very expensive, and it's for people to hire other people to moderate content hours and hours during their day is very expensive, despite the fact that they get paid minimum wage. And there was a research and an interview in Germany that talked about how German workers they spend hours and hours trying to moderate content, and this leads them to having those sounds and pictures stuck in their head and tracking their sleep schedule and making it lack. The working conditions that they see are that they get horrible minimum wage and that they're just not appreciated enough because they're not robots, they're humans. Algorithm. Algorithm is when social media has a feed for you of what you like or what entertains you. Let's say I like cats. My algorithm or my feed will be about cats. So algorithm prioritizes entertainment over safety. This being said, that they try to get rid of the content by outweighing the algorithm, and they fail to remove the content and moderate. And the growing amount of users. There isn't a specific number of users who join social media day to day, but there is the fact that there are 40.8 billion users who use social media. So imagine going through hundreds and thousands of posts for hours and hours and seeing all the horrible things that people post about, which is just not reasonable. Okay, now that we've gone through our cause, let's go to the effect that this has on people. The effect would be cyberbullying and inappropriate content. Because of unrestricted content, cyberbullying and inappropriate content would be allowed for anyone and would just let it be slide. Mental health. Cyberbullying can cause mental health because it creates social isolation, depression, and sometimes even suicide by the comments people get online. Harmful behavior from inappropriate content. The content little kids see can make them imitate content that they see and think it's okay or a solution to their problems. Especially with younger kids who see these content, they may think it's okay or normal and just use it day to day in their life. And misinformation. Misinformation and inappropriate content relate to each other because it can affect their ability to create healthy relationships and stereotypes that they see online. Now, we've talked about the problem and the effect, but what's a good solution? A good solution would be moderation by AI on all platforms. I say this because AI is able to analyze data quickly and efficiently, and there was, like I said, in Germany, these people saw horrible things, and AI will just have no harm done. They won't remember these things, so just simply remove it. According to CEO and founder of SmartClick, Rem Darbini, once said, "Passing through massive quantities of indecent content makes moderation a tough job for humans that can even cause negative psychological effects." This being said, AI would not be whatsoever hurt or harmed. And the call to action. Something that the audience can do or anyone would be petition to enforce moderators. Doing this, it will take all the rates of victims and it will go down, and it will be creating safety for all. Takeaway. Taking everything into account that we talked about, the statistics, the moderation, and the effects it has on the audience, the lack of monitoring harmful content has its consequences. We should take action now and implement moderators so we can work towards a safer and better environment for all online.